Okay, let us look at 1.3.1. Suppose Maria makes the mixture using 10 spoons of cocoa powder. How many spoons of sugar would she need? We go back to our ratio. We only use the ratio for cocoa, COCA, powder, to that one of a sugar. So to that one of a sugar is 1:2. Now, if there are 10 spoons of cocoa powder, how many spoons of sugar will be there? If there are 10 spoons, perfect. There will be 20 spoons of sugar. That is 1.3.1. 1.3.2, Maria made 900 grams of the mixture. Maria made 900 grams of the whole of the mixture, mixing everything, the cocoa powder, the sugar, and the milk powder together. Determine the mass in grams of milk powder in the mixture. Remember the ratio, 1:2:3. She used this ratio to make a mixture of 900 grams. So these whole numbers, when we add them, it gives us 6, which she used to get a 900 grams of the mixture. But we are interested in the milk powder. What will be the grams of the milk powder? So to get the grams of the milk powder, it means we are going to take the ratio of the milk powder, we divide it by the number when you add them all together, which is 6, and then we multiply it by 900 to get the grams of the milk powder. Let us check by using the calculator. 3 divided by 6, and then we multiply that by 900. It's 450. 450 grams of milk powder. There will be only 450 grams of milk powder. Moving to the next one. And we really want to thank your teachers because most of you do understand these types of questions now. So I hope you are going to get this one right too. But really, your teachers did a wonderful job this year because most of you do understand how to substitute into the formula, how to write the units at the end of your answer. So let us look at this one. A bedroom mirror consisting of a square base section and a semicircular section on top is shown in the sketch alongside. So we have the sketch there. The total height of the mirror is 90 centimeter, as it is shown on the diagram, and the width is 60 centimeter. And the first question, 2.2.1, write down the length of the radius of the semicircular section. So in this case, really the examiner didn't want to confuse you because in most cases the first question will be calculate the area and you are expected to substitute the value of the radius into the formula. Now in this case, for you to know that you have to determine or to get the value of the radius first before you substitute, the examiner in this case asked you to determine the radius first before you start answering the question, before you start calculating the areas. So 2.2.1, you have to write down the length of the radius of the semicircular section. What is the radius in this case? Semicircular section, which means they are referring to this section, to this one, semicircular. Do we have any measurements on that side? Remember they said this is a square base. This is a square base. So by square, what does it mean? By square, what does it mean? It means this side, this side, this side, and this side. they are all equal. Which means this 60, you can write it also here, you can write it also here, but it's 60 up to here, and then you can write it there again. Now, if you write it here, and then this now becomes a semi-circular. If you write it here, this becomes a semicircle now, remember, this one. And what will be this? I think this will be the diameter. So in this case, the diameter is 60, and then what will be the radius? If the diameter is 60, the radius will be equals to 60 divided by 2, which is 30. And make sure that you always write the units at the end. So the radius is 30 centimeters. I'm sure we all understand. 2.2.2, calculate the area of the mirror. In this case, calculate the area of the mirror, and you use the formula. Area of the mirror is equals to area of semicircle plus the area of a square. The formula is given to us. We have to substitute. We write half, multiply by, they said we must use pi as 3.14, multiply by diameter divided by 2 squared. What is the diameter? We said the diameter is 60. So 60 divided by 2, everything is squared, and then plus side squared. Side squared from the area of the square. Remember, we said this is our square. So each side is equals to 60 centimeter. So it will be 60 squared. Let us calculate. It's 1 over 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by, remember to show all your steps. So 60 divided by 2 is 30. And then remember it's squared there. It's squared. So 30 squared is equals to 900. 30 squared is equals to 900. Those who are maybe using adding machine, calculators which are not like this one, remember we don't have signs like this ones, squared, cubed, or what in our adding machines. We all know by now that if we say 60 divided by 2 squared, you will start by dividing 60 by 2, which is 30, and then 30 squared means 30 multiplied by 30. That is 30 squared. So 30 multiplied by 30 is 900. That is why I'm saying please stick to your calculator, because I'm sure by now you know how to use it. And then plus 60 squared. 60 squared is 3,600. 3,600. So let us use our calculator to get the answer in this case. Half, 0.5, multiply by 3.14, multiply by 900, plus 3,600 equals to. The answer in this case is 5,013. Remember, always double check. Double check, because it might happen that you didn't press another number there by mistake. 0.5 multiply by 3.14 multiply by 900 plus 3,600 equals to 5,013. What will be the unit? When we calculate the area, calculating the area, what will be the unit? Remember, we are working in centimeters, so the unit in this case will be centimeter squared. Centimeter squared. So don't panic, just make sure that you substitute correctly, and then after substituting correctly, don't just rush into getting the final answer. Make sure that you show your steps. you show your steps. Even if you can start by saying here 1/2 multiply by 3,14 multiply by 30 squared and then plus 60 squared. Nobody will say anything to you. You are just doing this to make sure that you get to the correct final answer. Thank you. Let us move to the next one. Please, grade 12s, make sure that you read the information carefully and you understand. Make sure that you read the information given to you carefully, you understand before you start answering questions. India has experienced an impressive economic growth over the past decade. The country's economy has grown from 250 billion US dollars during the period 1990 to 1991 to 1 million billion US dollars during the period 2009 to 2010. The 2 pi, I know most of you wouldn't know how to say this number. Most of you. So this is 1 million billion US dollars. Now there are 2 pie charts below showing how the contribution to the GDP from the various economic sectors has changed during the period 1990 to 2010. So the first one, 1990 to 1991, from services we have 41%, from industries we have 27%, and then from agriculture we have 32%. And remember, grade 12 by now, you must know that all these percentages, because it's a pie chart, they must add up to 100%. If they don't add up to 100%, it means there is another section there which is not provided to you. Maybe you'll be asked about it in the questions. So always check. Good. This is how you should make sure that you understand your information before start answering the questions. So we have 41, we have 32, we have 27. So it's 100. So it means our information is given to us, in full. The second one, composition from 2009 to 2010, we have services. There is no percentage which is provided to us. And definitely, maybe in the questions, they will expect you to calculate that percentage. And we have from industries is 28%, and then agriculture is 15%. Even before you start answering questions, because you know that it is a pie chart, all of them must add up to 100%. You can quickly get this one. That one, 15 plus 28 equals to 43. 43, and then we subtract 100, it's 57. So this one will be 57%. You are just doing that because I know that you are a clever grade 12. You know that the pie chart must add up to 100%. So even if it's not provided to you, because you already know, you'll be able to say, okay, services, it is 57%. Note, we measure the economic growth of a country by looking at the gross domestic product of the country. The GDP is the total value of goods and services produced in a country in 1 year. The GDP represents the monetary value of all goods and services produced within a country's geographical borders over a specified period of time. Now, we are going to take a break, but before we take a break, I'm going to put this information up here so that during the 5-minute break, you do questions from 2.3.1 up to 2.3.5, because I want the whole information to appear on your screen. That is why I'm leaving out some other questions. So during the 5-minute break, make sure that you answer 2.3.1 up to 2.3.5, and make sure that you look at the information that is provided to you clearly. You understand the question. You understand the question fully before you start answering the questions. Okay, grade 12. So let us look at the answers that you got. 2.3.1. They say we must convert 250 billion US dollars into millions. And they say 1 billion is equals to 1,000 million. Yeah? It's 1,000 million. Yes. How do you convert? I think it's straight, this one. You take 250. This is 2.3.1. You take 250 US, my symbol, US dollars, and then you multiply it by 1,000 million, 1,000 million, and then what will be your answer in this case? 250 multiplied by 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's 3 zeros. The answer 250,000. The answer is 250,000 million US dollars. Let us not forget the symbol US dollars. 250 million US dollars. That is the first one. You just multiply. And then 2.3.2, during the period 1990 to 1991, what percentage of India did not come from services? During the period 1990 to 1991, what percentage of India's GDP did not come from services? What percentage came from? Let us start with what percentage came from services. 2.3.2. From services, what is the percentage? It's 41%. But the question is saying, what percentage did not? What percentage did not come from services? How do we get the percentage? There are two. We have agriculture, we have industry. Definitely these two did not come from services. From services, we only have 41%. Now, to answer the question, remember this is, you were not asked to calculate what came from. They say did not come from. So what did not come from services is 32% of agriculture and 27% of industry. So the answer in this case, 32 plus 27, 59. So 59% did not come from services. It came from agriculture and industry, but not from services. Make sure that you understand the question. 2.3.3, calculate the percentage of India's GDP that came from services during the period 2009 to 2010. See how confusing they can be? Calculate the percentage of India's GDP that came from. This one, they want that came from services, but look at the period 2009 and 2010. We got this side, 2009 and 2010. What is the percentage? Most we already calculated it because we knew that the whole pie chart must give us 100%. And since it was not given, we were able to calculate it. And to calculate it, we said 100% minus 15% plus 28%. 15% of agriculture and 28% of industry. What is your answer in this case? 100 minus 15 plus 28. 57%. And we were right. Remember, we got 57%, so we were right that for services it will be 57%. 2.3.4, during the period 1990 to 1991, India's GDP was 250 billion US dollars. How much of this in billions came from industry? How much of this came from industry? In total, they managed to get 250 billion US dollars in total. During this period, how much? Yes, it's 2.3.4. How much? 1990 to 1991. 1990 to 1991. During this period, they managed to get 250 billion US dollars. Now, from the amount that they got, how much was from industry? How much was from industry? How do we calculate that? On the pie chart, we only have percentages. We know that 27% of whatever money they got was from industries. So in this case, that will be the information that we can use. From industry, we have 27%. So it will be 27% of 250 billion. 27%, how do we write 27%? Is 27 over 100 multiplied by 250 billion. Calculator to check what the answer is. 27 divided by 100 multiplied by 250. 67.5 billion in this case. So the answer is 67.5 billion. Don't forget the unit. It's US. Oh, my symbol there. Sorry. It's US dollars. So it's 67.5 billion US dollars. So this amount came only from the industry for the period 1992 1991. 2.3.5. Calculate the difference in percentage of the GDP that came from agriculture during the periods 1992, 1991 and 2009 to 2010. Difference in percentage that came from agriculture. Let's look. 1990, agriculture. The first period, it was 32%, and the second period, agriculture was 15%. Remember the concepts that we talked about earlier? Calculate what? The difference. So you must know that the difference is the answer that you get after doing what? After subtracting. So 32 minus 15. 32 minus 15, it's 17. So the difference is only 17%. And please remember, always use your calculator. Always try to use your calculator, because some of you, make very small mistakes. You know that you have to subtract 15 from 32. But now when you write the answer, you get the incorrect answer, showing that you did not use your calculator to get your final answer. The last question that we are going to do together today. Tembeka compared the monthly salaries of the employees at two call centers, one in Greytown and the other one in Johannesburg. The following are the monthly salaries in rent and by call center agents. First one, Greytown. Those are the numbers, 4,200, 4,320. We have all the numbers up to 7,250. Johannesburg, 5,500, 5,525, up to 8,900. 5.2.1. Determine the range of the monthly salaries earned at the Greytown agency. Which means when they say Greytown agency, you are going to look at this information. The range. What is the range? The higher number, subtract the smaller number. But before you do that, you have to always check if the numbers are arranged in ascending or descending orders. Numbers must not just be mixed up. It's either you start with the smallest number up to the highest number, or maybe the highest number up to. But we usually encourage you to write from the smallest to the highest. So are the numbers arranged in that order? You must look in the middle if maybe there is a smaller number that is not supposed to be there. But if I look at these numbers, all of them, they are arranged from the smaller number to the higher number. So we can calculate our range. Our range in this case will be 7,250 minus 4,200. 7,250, which is the higher number, minus 4,200, which is the smaller number, 3,050 rand. 3,050 rand. Remember, they said it is in rands, so it might happen that they may penalize you if you don't write the units, and if maybe you don't put a comma, and after a comma there must be 2 zeros to show that you are dealing with money. 5.2.2. Write down the median monthly salary earned at Greytown. You look at how many numbers are there. Remember what the median is. I know most of you, when they are asked to calculate the median, they calculate the mean. When they have to calculate the mean, they calculate the median. So the median is the middle number, the number that divides the data set into 2 equal parts. So let us look. We go to Greytown because the question is asking about the data set of Greytown. How many numbers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 numbers. So the middle number must leave 4 numbers this side, 4 numbers on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our median. That will be our median. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer for this one was 5.2.1. 5.2.2. The answer is 4,650. Remember to put the unit because it's the money, because it is in rands. And then 5.2.3. Calculate the mean now. Calculate the mean monthly salary and at the Johannesburg agency. Because the first 2 questions you were dealing with Greytown, most of you can make a mistake of continuing using the data set of Greytown. But in this case, look at the question. You are to use the data set of Johannesburg agency. Johannesburg agency, how do we calculate the mean? Add all the numbers, divide by the total number of the numbers in the data sets. So in this case, it will be 5,500, 5,525, 5980, 6250, 6250 again, 6250 again, 6,300, sorry for this, 7,800, 8,200, and then 8,900. How many numbers do we have? 1. I'm not going to count mine. Because it might happen that I left out some other number there. So let me go back to the question paper to check how many numbers do I have. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Divide by 10. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, it is very important for you to always double check. There are 10 numbers, but I only wrote 9 numbers here. Let's check which number did I left out. There's the first one, the second one, 5980, 6250. There are 3 6250s plus 6250. So I wouldn't see that I wrote less numbers if I didn't check on the calculator, on the question paper, how many numbers do I have? So there are 10 numbers. I do have 10 because I've double checked. Let us add. It's 5500, 5525, 5980, 6250, 6250, 6,250, 6,300, 7,800, 8,200, and then 8,900. What is the answer? I get 6,6,955, and then I have to divide by number by 10. But because I want to be sure, I want to get all the marks from this question paper, I'm going to check again 5500, 5525, 5980, 6250, 6250, 6250. There are 3 of those. 6,300, 7,800, 8,200, and then 8,900. 6,6,955. So my answer was correct, and then I have to divide that by 10. The answer is 6,695.5. If I divide by 10, the answer is 6,695.5. So that is my the mean for Johannesburg agency. The salary end at the Johannesburg agency. 5.2.4. Calculate the percentage of the monthly salaries earned in Johannesburg that are higher than the maximum monthly salary earned in Greytown. Let me put the information so that you can see. I'll give you just a minute to look at this one and understand the question. Calculate the percentage of the monthly salaries earned in Johannesburg that are higher than the maximum monthly salary earned in Greytown. Look at in the 2 data set. Decide on how are you going to answer this question. Just a minute. Okay, grade 12s. How did you answer this one? Calculate the percentage of the monthly salaries earned in Johannesburg that are higher than the maximum monthly salary earned in Greytown. Greytown, the highest salary earned there is 7,250. Now, for Johannesburg, we have to look at salaries which are higher than 7,250. How many do we have? 6,300, much less. 7,800 higher, 1. 8,200 higher, the second one. 8,900 higher, the third one. So there are 3 salaries which are higher from Johannesburg agency as compared to the Greytown agency. So we are saying there are 3 out of how many salaries do we have? Out of 10. So what is the percentage there? We have to multiply that by 100 because we must get a percentage. 3 divided by 10, multiply by 100, 30. Is it 30? Yes, 30. 30%. So the percentage is 30% of the monthly salaries earned in Johannesburg that are higher than salaries from Greytown. Our last question, 5.3. Tembeka invested 6,350 in a savings account so that she would have enough money to pay for her move to Johannesburg. The amount was invested at an interest rate of 5.8% per annum, compounded monthly. Use the formula A is equals to P open bracket 1 plus I to the power N, where A is the final amount, P is the amount invested, I is the interest rate, and then N is the investment period. You know what? In most cases, I encourage learners to do this. I'm looking for the final amount. The amount that I'm going to substitute as P is 6,350. What am I going to substitute as I? It's 5,8 divided by 100, because we know that we have to divide by 100. And then what am I going to substitute as N? Calculate the final amount that Tembeka will receive after 2 years. After 2 years, so my N is equals to 2. I can go to the formula and substitute. Six, 3, 5, 0, 1 plus 5,8 over 100 to the power 2. I'm definitely sure that the first mark will be there for substitution. This is for 4 marks. The first mark will be there for substitution. And then 6,350. Remember at the beginning we said you must try to show all your calculations. So it will be 1 plus. We divide now 5,8 divide by 100 is 0,058 to the power 2. Grade 12, so remember, one of our instructions is to say we must round our answers to 2 decimal places. Please remember to round only at the final answer. You cannot start rounding here and say the answer is 0,06. No. Wait up until you get to the final answer, then you can start your rounding there. This is 6,350, open bracket. If we add a 1 to that, plus 1 is 1,058 to the power 2. And then I raise that to 2 squared. It's 6,350, 1,119364. Write all the numbers as they are. 1,119364. Write all the numbers as they are. And then finally, to remove the bracket, what do? We have to multiply. We multiply that. Let me start from the beginning. It's 6,350 multiplied by 1,119364. The answer in this case is 7107,96 cents. So this is your answer. But immediately you start rounding there, or you started rounding there, your answer will definitely not be the same. And instead of getting a 4 marks, definitely maybe you'll end up getting 3 over 4 or maybe even 2 over 4. So make sure that you round where? Only at the final answer in all the questions. Grade 12s, like I've said, we are not going to keep you for long because we all understand today that you have to go and prepare for tomorrow. But before I go, on behalf of our mathematical literacy team in Free State, our PSC, Mr. Chabalala, our subject advisors, Menete, Dr. Renette van der Merwe, Ntate Kepa, Ntate Muduka, Mr. Mlangeni, Me Paddy, Me More, and our beautiful mother, Me Francis. We want to wish you all the best for tomorrow. Please make sure that you go home today, you study. Don't cross night, don't study until tomorrow because you are going to forget most of the things. Make sure that you study for a reasonable time so that tomorrow you are fresh. Don't panic. Everything in that paper, you know it. Because we know that we are having dedicated mathematical literacy teachers around Free State. So because of them, we know that you are ready. We love you. We believe in you. We wish you well. Make sure that tomorrow you kill that paper because we don't know paper 2 on Tuesday, how will it be like. Make sure that you collect as many marks as possible from paper 1 so that maybe come paper 2, you know that you have passed your paper 1. we wish you well. We believe in you, so please make sure that you believe in yourself. We are proud of you. We know that tomorrow you are going to make it. You are going to make us proud also. So we wish you all the best and good luck for tomorrow. Thank you.